Welcome back to another episode of Dynamics in Poser. Today we will look at how to work with sitting poses using a simple prop. There are a few things we can do to achieve better realism when working with sitting poses. In real life, we are often adjusting our clothing manually as we sit down. For static renders, we want to save time, so we're going to cheat a bit. I have included a very simple cube prop for this tutorial. It's made to stay on the floor if you scale it. Also, I have included a new, longer skirt for Victoria 4 and Pauline, because I want to show the interaction between the cloth and the prop. Resources will be made available for download in my free stuff section within a day or two of the video being published here at Renderosity. Let's load Victoria 4. Then let's load our cube. Now let's look for a nice sitting pose for Victoria. And arrange everything the way we want for our final frame. Let's scale the cube so it fits nicely with Victoria 4's pose. You can of course move Victoria around as well. It's usually good to have a tiny bit of room between Victoria and the sitting surface. Now let's consider the animation. As it looks right now, we have two problems. The first is that Victoria is moving through the cube. Depending on the length of the skirt, this will cause problems as we want to have the skirt collide with the cube as well as with Victoria. We could move Victoria or we can move the cube. In this case, we will move the cube, as this option will interfere less with the skirt during the simulation. Let's go to frame 1 and make some adjustments to the cube. We can try moving it back, adjusting the height, and rotating it a bit. My goal here is to get the edge of the cube to collide with the skirt at knee level and at about 45 degrees. This way it will come in at a good angle when it starts to collide with the skirt. The second thing we need to do is to make a small leg adjustment. This is similar to what we did in the previous video. We will adjust Victoria's legs in the middle of the animation so they don't intersect when getting into the cross-legged position. We can also adjust the final pose to make sure there is some room for the cloth between the calf and the upper knee in the final pose. This might not be a big issue with the skirt actually, but it does become very important when working with long pants. Now let's load a new skirt and set up our cloth simulation. Make sure to select and set up both Victoria and the cube for collision. Let's run the calculation. Now we have our sitting pose simulation. That's it for this time. In the next part of this series, we will take a closer look at our sitting simulation. It's common to get cloth intersections in the hip area with sitting poses. We will look at a few ways we can tweak our simulation for better results and also how to use the morph brush for touch-ups. Happy rendering and see you all next time!